check here. Let's get the channel up. Okay, we got it. Okay, a little bit different background for this one. Start the podcast in a minute or two. Okay, this is a little different. A little different. We can do this. Okay. All right, Destiny Community Podcast, 4 Guardians and a Guest, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. Alrighty then, guys. Guess who is back, broadcasting from an undisclosed location. This is a Destiny Community Podcast, 4 Guardians and a Guest. I am your host, Shady Vale. This is a very, very special episode, episode 40. That's right, guys. We've done 40 of these. But this one is amazingly special because I cannot and will not do this alone. So I have with me VA Witch.
Hi, folks. Had to ride in on my stick.
I also have BC with me.
Yeah.
Welcome, BC.
That's how we became the Shady Bunch.
Okay, we also have a special guest host. It's TARDIS.
What's up, peeps? Don't blink. Blinking, you're dead.
Everybody's down a little bit. Give room for our guest. I'd like to have the person who is closest to the guest introduce them. So in this case, it's a no-brainer. Our special guest host, TARDIS. Please introduce our guests and tell everyone what the relationship is to you and BC.
Today we have a very special guest. The guest is my mother, Sailor Mouth Mama.
Hiya.
And her relationship to BC?
That is my father and her ex-husband.
Wow. And they're next to each other on the Shady Couch.
Hiya.
Alrighty then, thanks guys. Coming up, we have some shady questions. We have a guest interview. We have This or Dat. We have What the Geek is This? We got the 3rd degree RNG, but first, RNG is a new one. That's TARDIS's one. We'll get to that later. First, we are sponsored by Anchor. Anchor is an app for your mobile device that takes your podcast and puts it all over the internet. Please, everyone, check out Anchor.fm. And as always, all proceeds from this podcast go to St. Jude's Hospital for kids with cancer, and we're up to around $2,300. So thank you, everybody, for helping us out with that. Okay, let's go. Wait to the guest interview. We have no preparation for this. This is an improv, an impromptu interview. So it's all you, DC.
Really bad idea, but I'm winging it, okay?
This should be fun.
Thank you once again for coming and being a guest. So, you're pretty familiar with how it goes, but for new people, I'm just going to ask her some questions. When she gets done answering her questions, she gets a chance to ask a question of me or all of us and become one of the hosts. First question is, are you a gamer?
I am not. Big surprise. Unless you count those little mergy, those mergy app games on your cell phone. But that's about as close as I get to gaming.
Count, but last night we were at your house having a barbecue and we played Family Feud. That's technically a game.
Oh, wait. We're not talking about video games.
Gaming.
I'm a gamer.
You're a
I
gamer?
will kick everyone's butt in board games. I'm a board game boss.
What's your top board game?
Categories. And what's it? They're a little like antiquated, like people don't really play those anymore, but I am the queen of the triple. So like I wouldn't just say sundae, I would say like strawberry spice sundae, and then you get 3 points instead of 1. I'm the queen of the triple.
That makes it harder for people to guess it too, right? Because if somebody guesses the same thing as you, then you don't get the points.
Right. I mean, sometimes they eliminate one of my words, but I'm still getting points on every single one. There's a tip, you're welcome.
Okay. So, not a gamer like Destiny gamer, but a gamer in your own right.
Oh, absolutely.
Shady says all the time, we are very competitive as gamers. Are you competitive?
Yes.
Follow-up question. Sore loser?
I don't lose. So here's a fun story. You want
to that based on last night?
We rocked.
We won.
Yeah, we're a team. We took them down.
We won. Team Shady Mouth was.
Shady Mouth, victors.
We were the victors.
Undefeated.
The most.
By 1 point.
The most. Yeah, it was 2.
7-5.
Yeah, 7-5. I love how you tried to wiggle that one out. But the most competitive game I've ever played is a game called Spoons. I know you're familiar with it, but I don't know if everybody is. So
It's violent.
it's a very violent game. So the general premise is there are physical spoons in the center of the table. You work to get 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind, depending on who or how you play. And then once you're passing the chords around, and once you get your 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind, you reach for a spoon. And there's one less spoon. It's kind of like musical chairs. So there's one less spoon than there are people. And you have to be the one who gets the spoon. If you don't, you get a letter. If you spell out spoons, you lose. We have broken furniture. People have gotten cut, punched, hair ripped out. It's aggressive.
Here's a good tip. Never play spoons with plastic spoons.
Don't play with plastic spoons.
They bend and become weapons.
They break and it's like getting shanked in prison. It's aggressive.
I've played that game in the past, yes, very violent. My go-to trick was to take one spoon and throw it to somebody I liked and then take the other one. And everybody else fights for the ones that are left.
There was one time, actually, I was playing with BC. This is when we still lived together way back in it was a long time ago. But him and my sister catapulted to the middle of the table, and the legs from the table went out from under it, and it broke and flattened in the middle of the kitchen. We don't play that game indoors anymore.
Wasn't that the same time that she ended up choking her niece, in that little hallway closet or
I
the
think
hallway
that's when she
walk
choked
area?
her. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know she changed colors. She changed colors.
She wouldn't let go of the spoon, and yes, it's violent.
Child Services is now currently being dialed by everyone watching the podcast. Like, that child is not safe.
She's still alive. She might twitch, but she's still alive.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, I asked if you were a sore loser. You said you don't lose. Are you a sore winner?
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
It's the
I will
worst.
gloat. I will gloat. And I will remind you about it. If you have soup and there's a spoon, you're going to hear about the time that I beat you. It's just who I am as a person.
That's not necessarily an exaggeration either.
It's all in love, though. It's all in fun.
Child services call.
Now, I kind of brought that one up. I snuck that one in because there's a story about that where this woman right here claims that she does not lie. She won the game of BS. Y'all know what that means. By convincing one of our friends that he was on a card that was 2 cards prior to what he was supposed to be on because he wasn't paying attention. Now, granted, if he would have been on the correct card, I would have won. And I'm telling him, no, she's telling you the wrong thing. She convinces him to pick the card that she wants so she could win the game.
Well, because my last 2 chords were queens, so he needed to play a jack. I don't care if it wasn't supposed to be a jack. The game's called BS. The goal of the game is to BS other people. I'm pretty sure that means I'm awesome at it.
Howie Mandel has a show called BS on Netflix.
Cheers.
All right, one last question
Sure.
from you.
Oh, I get to ask the question. Okay. So I kind of had a wow moment yesterday because I've been watching. I'm a very loyal follower of the podcast, and so I knew what you look like, and I knew what Shady looked like.
I would hope you know what I look like.
I know. I live with your mini me.
not my mini-me, but I mean,
The light-skinned version of you.
we created them, right? If you didn't know what I look like
What you
Firm
trying to
donation
say?
bank.
Anyway, anywho. But I had never met VA, and I had pictured in my head what she looked like, not what she looks like. But I had created a whole person in my head about what you look like. So my question for you guys is, and I kind of already know this answer,
I'll go last.
but it'll be interesting for you guys to hear it.
I'll go last.
For those of you that did not know what I and Dark, which is another loyal follower and my delicious new husband, I
Oh, God.
upgraded. He,
Whoa, a cheap shot from the guest.
what did you guys? What was your first impression, and like, what did you think when you? Did you have a persona of what me and Dark look like in your head before we met? And if so, what is it? How does it compare to what we really look and act like?
You're about kind of what I had figured. I mean, both your general personality outside of when you've just thrown all kinds of salt and shade on this guy.
I know, right?
Very memorable. And that's probably what, our first or second podcast, Shady, that she was the guest. It was
You can see
beautiful.
chat on the screen.
So,
Service is called.
but no, overall, you're about what I'd expected. Your husband is a bit, I think, a bit taller, and yeah, a bit taller, and I think a little older than I had initially envisioned. But
Is it because I always call him a baby?
no, it's just I don't know. Plus, you kind of had inferred that you'd upgraded, so I thought that you went robbing the
I
cradle.
mean, he is kind of hot, though, right?
He's cute. This one ain't bad either. So
I mean, whatever. I had that already.
You know what? I think that's the closest to a compliment I'm gonna get.
I think so.
I'm gonna seal that one with a drink.
But like TARDIS is a little bit different than I thought. He's taller than I thought he was, but he's just as polite. So both y'all should be proud of that.
Oh, thank
and Shady,
you.
I've been seeing now for over a year on the podcast, but in person, he's still, not that different. Still kind of quiet. Trying to move things along when we're doing stuff, but still just polite and pleasant to be around us. He's been in the chats during podcasts and then in between podcasts. So, overall, glad we were able to do this in person.
Oh my God,
eventually.
yes,
It's been
fun.
fun. Made new friends, which are, always a win.
Most definitely.
For me, I've seen pictures of VA, and I probably might have recognized you. You were wearing a Destiny shirt, so eventually it would have dawned on me that it's VA. But my other surprises was, yes, TARDIS is taller than I expected. Dark is a bit taller than I expected, but he's not as handsome as I expected. I was expecting like a 9, and I think I got an 8.5 or a 9.
Yeah.
And he is 10 times more polite than I am. I asked him if he had a sister last night. No.
Or another brother.
Well, I was to negotiate.
Unfortunately, he's an only child. Darn.
My second biggest surprise is how handsome BC is. I wish we could get a zoom.
That's another compliment.
Wish we could get a zoom. He made himself out to be larger. Like you were overweight or something. You were pretty fit, dude.
I am not.
Yeah, you are. But mouth, I was 100% sure. I would have bet my house,
Come
my
on, guys.
car, one of my kids. I would have bet for sure. I guess I
Yeah.
suck at accents and voices. I thought mouth was black. I really did. BC's new lady, told me that mouth was white. I'm like, no way. Some kind of practical joke.
Oh, shut
Yeah,
up.
no, she's white. Can't,
I'm white.
Doesn't lie.
Secret. When she was born,
Oh my God,
her
here we
baby
go.
band said she was black.
I did. My baby bracelet. It was an ongoing joke for a really long time.
This is 100% serious.
I was pleasantly
She
surprised.
still has it
You
in
were
a
totally
box.
I do have it. I do still have it. My baby
There's
bracelet.
proof that she was black when she was born.
Well, I mean, Mouth's here, and she's a very lovely lady, but I was really looking forward to getting a hug from a big black woman.
I got a question. Did you pull a Michael Jackson? You gotta bleach your skin because of vitiligo.
I mean, you don't get this pale starting out any other color. Like, I am like mayonnaise on marshmallows. I'm so white.
I think I might have you slightly beat though.
Yeah, you do actually. We figured that
Your
out.
makeup last night when we went to the club unexpectedly. So
What
Yeah.
the?
Yeah, I've been sunburned in the wintertime. Like how all you be.
I can't show you my farmer's burn right now. It's embarrassing. It's so bad.
That's not a farmer's burn. That's a motorcycle burn.
It is a motorcycle burn.
yep.
Yeah, and those really suck, man. I'm telling you, man. I can't never. The burns, man. The burns. They're so bad.
All right, guys, segment's
I felt
over.
left out.
Moving on.
Ah, there's
Here we
the
go.
shade we know and love.
I was like,
Does TARDIS not get an answer? Is TARDIS important?
He wants to answer too.
yeah, what are you expecting?
You seen me on camera.
Yes.
You didn't know what VA looked like. That's the only one you didn't know.
I don't know. I expected her to be taller. I don't know why. Just at least a little bit taller.
Okay.
And I don't know. You kind of. I don't really create pictures of people in my head.
Oh, I do.
Everybody involved. 'Cause
I
you
had a
sent me
whole
pictures
picture.
of
Yes, you and I happened to exchange pictures before, and that's why I also knew what TARDIS looked like in general.
Keep an eye on chat.
And then, but yeah. So I think you and I knew what each other looked like.
All these handsome men, round mouth. I mean, I am in the
Control
center of
herself,
it.
Too. Yep.
I think the only thing that I didn't, because in the picture you were cosplaying and you had red hair.
No, I didn't.
It looked
I have not
red in the
had red
picture.
hair since my first wedding in 1990.
Well, the lighting made it look
Yeah.
red. The lighting made it look red.
Oh, okay.
Because you were standing next to a redhead too.
Mm.
Because you were cosplaying Doctor Who.
Yeah, I was cosplaying River Song.
And you were, and I'm like, her hair looks red.
There's a comment from Dark.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
We're calling him handsome.
Oh well, he's really hot, you guys.
He is quite handsome.
I'm so lucky.
Okay, good segment, guys. Good job. Improv winging it.
Yeah.
Excellent questions, excellent answers. Good job, everyone. Moving on. Up next is VA. VA, what's the name of your segment?
What the geek is this? So instead of top three lists, we're just going to kind of hit on three geeky related subjects. So first off is apparently the first PS5 bundle has been announced, and interestingly, the game they've chosen to bundle with it is Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. So, which kind of makes sense. It's one of their biggest sellers for PS5 right now. So be on the lookout for that. It's on the UK web store, so it'll be showing up US soon. Probably about $5.50, they're guessing. The other thing is that PlayStation is changing, folks. Y'all don't know. So if you have PlayStation Plus, your subscription is getting changed to one of three tiers. Usually, most people are going to be on the low tier, which is going to be about the same as we have now, 2-3 games a month, and chat capabilities and stuff. But if you do upgrade, you get access to more games in the PS4 and 5 library, or the top tiers of PS3, 2, and 1 library, and you can stream those games as well, which you can't do in the lower tiers. So that'll be interesting to see how it works out, because it's more expensive than Game Pass, which is their big competitor. And then the other thing, since we are, most in this room are Guardians, is of course Season 17, the season of the Redacted, is starting on Tuesday. So Guardian Games comes to a close, Season 17 starts, and about the only thing we know about it is there'll be another subclass that's been changed, so it'll either be Arc or Solar. Most money's on Solar, but there's also clues for Arc. And if you like to hop around in PvP Crucible, your life is going to change dramatically. There will be fewer rabbits in the Crucible because airborne accuracy is going to take a big hit, and you will have to very specifically build for that. And so for my fellows, that play. What are your thoughts on that? Is that going to really put a kink in your game, or does it really not affect you?
I don't really. I play Warlock occasionally, and I don't normally play Dawnblade, so the Dawnblade and the floating won't be necessarily a problem ever since they nerfed Icarus Dash, which I was so mad about. Like, why take away the second one? It's so weird. But I play as a hunter, and I'm not really one of those bouncy, jumpy hunters that I'll jump around a little bit, but I don't really use that, so it won't affect my gameplay as much. It'll make it easier on me to be able to find my opponents, because in the match I just finished playing not too long ago, there's this hunter, I just completely lost him because he was bouncing everywhere in that small town. I'm like, where did he go? I almost died because of it. But it'll be interesting to learn how to adapt, and it'll be definitely something I'll have to keep up on.
So it won't change your game much, but as far as you as a player, but it will your targets, you think?
Correct.
DC?
I main a Warlock unless I'm using Heat Rises to, burning a grenade to float in the air or the wings where you aim down sight. It really doesn't affect me at all because both of those things have built-in counteractions for the stat change. I'm sure it's going to hurt a little, but not as bad as everybody else. But it's, the downside to those and why they had those built in is Warlocks float. So when you burn up that, you may go up higher, but you're stuck. There's not really any mobility. You're not floating around anywhere. You're kind of stuck wherever your momentum was taking you in that initial jump, which made you a sitting target. So to counteract that risk, they gave you the better accuracy, but as a play style, it's really not the best for my main character. I've seen some people get away with doing it, but even people that are really good at doing it seem to get caught a lot. So not a play style I use. Don't really care too much about the changes other than, much like Tarda says, it might make things easier for me when it comes to going against hobby hunters.
Okay. And I've asked Shady, but Shady avoids Crucible with a
I can
600
answer.
foot.
I can answer.
No? Okay.
If you see
You're
my
not
name
gonna like
in the
the
Crucible, it's Tardis playing on my account like he is right now. You cannot drag me kicking and screaming into the Crucible with me on my account. So
Unless it's May.
So ditto his answer then.
Well, you play it occasionally, but you'll literally do like the 4 minimum games for the week and then promptly peace out.
that's late at night after I've had a few and had really bad judgment. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I was actually married at one point. So
Ooh.
and it's Crucible and being married are about equal.
Oh!
In a degree of mistakes.
Oh!
Any
wow.
response,
I got
basically?
killed in that one too.
Well, for me, I'm looking forward to it. Like BC, I main a Warlock, mostly a Voidlock. And as soon as I was happy this season with the changes to Void. So it's not going to affect my gameplay much either for the same reason, because I'm either using the Heat Rises or I'm doing Void, which, it's not going to affect. But I am very curious to see how it changes, my opponent's play, because, I'm just like, wait a minute, you're a Titan or you're a Hunter, you're not a Jackrabbit for all that you're hopping makes it seem. So I think it'll improve the game. The other thing that is happening this season is that Iron Banner is getting a rework, and so. For those that haven't closely tracked, there's only 2 this coming season. The 2nd week and I think the 8th week out of the 12. And they are changing it so that there is no minimum light level, or not light level affecting, excuse me. Which will be different. I think that's good. Real quick, think good for that, Shady? If there's not the light level advantage?
Well, I think you should have a choice. You should have A and B if you want the light level because you've earned it. You can go play there. If you want everything to be even and the newbies are in there that just started, just picked up the controller for the first time, make it even, that should be an option too. I pay a lot of money for these games, all the DLCs, and I spent $1,000 I gave to Bungie, and I want a choice. Give me a choice.
Okay. PC?
I never really thought about that. That's kind of nice. I actually was fine with it the way it was, having the power. It made it. I think it made it something to play. I get where Bungie's kind of coming from, trying to make it more exclusive, well, less exclusive, make it more accessible for everyone, and hopefully drive people into the playlist by reworking like the bounties and the point system, giving you the engrams instead of the tokens to drive people to it and reducing how many times it happens a year. Because before it was, or happens a season, I should say. Because it was once a month.
Roughly, it was every. Some seasons had only 3, others had 4, but yeah.
And I'll admit, towards the end of the season, I didn't care about the Iron Banner because I was already at the light level I was going to get. I'd already gotten, everything that I was going to do. So the only time that I really cared about it at the end of the season is I was trying to work on all.
Okay.
So having it happen that many times, it does seem to lose value at the end. So it's going to be interesting. I feel like it will drive a lot more people in, but I think a lot of times when you make changes, I think it's best to make one change at a time. One change, see if that gives you the desired effect. You change so many things at once, you don't really know what did it. And you could change something that didn't need to be changed and piss more people off.
So like,
variables.
Convert them to right. Too many variables. So like this season, have 17 convert to same vendor mechanism, and rework bounties as needed due to that, and then following season level it. TARDIS, what's your thoughts? Because you play a lot of PvP, including Banner.
I think it's interesting. They're changing a lot of things, which is good. Change is going to happen. It's just whether or not the change is going to be too impactful, or if it's going to be like you barely notice it's there. Like, it seems like it's going to change a lot. It seems like it's going to affect the way how everything is. But it could be one of those seasons where Bungie's just like, we said we're going to do this, we didn't. Or, it doesn't really bother anyone or do anything. It's just going to be interesting on how it plays out.
Okay, cool.
Or behind the scenes, like buffs and nerfs that kind of counteract it.
Right.
Making it too easy to build against it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
I have nothing to add from a Destiny perspective.
For that one.
But as a newly identified gamer, I like that you said there was going to be a kink in the game.
Oh my god.
We may have a new Guardian.
This is what I live with.
Welcome. Oh no.
Well, but as someone who, kind of games peripherally, I should say, because of your relationship to these two.
Right.
Going out and getting that PS5 on the Christmas gift for somebody?
Well, when it first came out, he didn't want one. He said they have to wait till it comes out with the next gen or whatever because there's too many bugs and blah 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 blah. So I don't know. Do you want one?
Good thought. Good theory.
Yes, I would love one.
Well, then
if I
don't
could
get
stay out of,
grounded.
I was about to say if I could stay.
If I could stay out of trouble.
He gets grounded
Well,
a lot.
now you have a goal, TARDIS, to work towards. All right,
Well,
but
he's also requested to be a full-time co-host
Yes.
for Guardians of the Guest.
Yeah, so don't get
another
grounded.
reason to.
Yeah, you can't.
You need a PlayStation for that.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble and be full time.
He's a little spoiled, so as long as he's not in trouble, he'll probably get it. But if he is in trouble, sorry for you, homie.
Cool. Well, that is this week's What the Geek Is This?
Very nice. And speaking of TARDIS, he wants to be a full-time co-host, so I told him, you gotta get your own segment, pal. And he came up with one. I got the name for it, because I'm good at that. So it's called RNG. And for civilians, that stands for
Random Number Generator.
He's not going to do a random number every week. Just go 12 and move on. No, he's going to do a random topic about gaming that doesn't necessarily have to do with any particular game. It's going to be a general question about your style, your behavior, what you're eating, blah, blah, blah. So, TARDIS, what's this week's question?
This week's question is, do you listen to music while you game? And if so, what type of music do you listen to? For me, I personally have a lot of different playlists. I normally use Spotify, and a lot of the times it's rap or some type of I don't know how I could classify that.
Hip-hop?
No, I'm going to a blank.
Techno.
Yeah, something like that.
House music?
Yes, house music. I like listening to that a lot. My mom finds it annoying. She's like, there's no words in these songs. You're just listening to music. And I'm like, I like it. Leave me alone.
But,
My kid
listening
listens to it,
music.
too.
There you go. Listening to music.
I mean, I don't mind listening to music. I just don't want to hear it go chicka 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 over and over and
That's a
over and
train.
over. Well, that's the best I had. Okay, don't judge me.
Now,
Yeah.
TARDIS, I know you're a rookie at this, so you got to do call-outs. So who's next?
Shady.
Okay, I normally don't listen to music. I will occasionally. Usually when I'm doing bounties and farming, I'll be actually watching like Amazon Prime. I will binge 6 seasons of a show in 2 days while I'm gaming.
You can watch television and game at the same time?
Yes.
I'm
I don't
impressed.
know what, I can't do that.
And
What? It was Cheers this weekend.
and
There
I'm
was a
in
lot of
season
Cheers.
11, episode 15.
Yeah,
I
a
started
lot of
it 2
Cheers.
days ago.
Wow.
A lot of Cheers.
And at night, if I want to be social, I'm talking to people with my headphones on, and I can't have music. I even turn the gaming music off. The Destiny music I turn off just to talk to people. But every now and then, what I will do is go to my Spotify playlist. I have 5 or 6 for Destiny, mostly Destiny 1, and it's mostly dubstep kind of stuff, like Fat Rat kind of thing. And there's actually certain songs that I hear, I think of a certain strike in Destiny 1.
Oh.
So like maybe at 11 o'clock at night, I would just switch to Destiny 1 and hit a playlist and play like 3 strikes and have a good time. That's my habit.
I still can't get over the fact that you can game and watch television at the same time. I'm like fluid right now.
Well,
My mind is blown.
My gaming style, because I'm a farmer, that's a different style. I'll do the same Lost Sector 3 hours. I know the spawn points, I know where the enemies are, I can barely pay attention to the game and still keep an eye on what's happening on
Yeah,
TV.
they're not a high stress.
I can't do a Nightfall or something like that takes concentration, but I can just do a Lost Sector that takes no brain power.
I can't even manage to watch television without holding my mouth in a weird way. So I can't really be
So that's
like
me.
this.
TARDIS, who's next?
Mother.
I don't really game.
But you do game.
If it's
consider
board
you a gamer.
games,
Yeah,
if it's
there we
board
go.
games, then our general way of playing, whoever we're playing with, will use either the Alexa or the Amazon device, and we'll take turns. So like whoever's playing, we just kind of go in a circle, and you play a song, and then you play a song, and you play a song. So it can go from Tech 9 to like, I don't know, the Blues Brothers to Sarah Bareilles to who knows. I mean, it hops around. So, we got chat. Raj said, or Dog says, he works drive play while listening to Netflix series or YouTube documentaries most of the time.
Okay.
He does that too. I can't. I don't understand it.
My mind works too fast not to be distracted in more than one thing.
Yeah.
It just,
Well, clearly mine works really slow.
nothing wrong with that. I didn't say I was right.
But I love music, and I love, even if it's on my cell phone or what have you, there's usually something playing. If I had a preference, it'd probably be vinyl most of the time.
Gotcha.
Like old school Billie Holiday and Frank Sinatra. And,
I just bought Etta James.
can I have it?
I would like to interrupt for 12 seconds to say I just went 18.0 undefeated in this match.
Correction, I just win.
just borrowed.
Hold on, wait. Let me
hand.
screenshot this real quick. Someone clip it.
You upped my KD by like 0.5.
Look, that's why he wanted to say it on the podcast so he could claim it later.
Who's next, artist?
I'm going to say you, Miss VA.
I do not. I have ADD, so the amount of input I can function with. Well, I can have a lot of inputs, but to do anything competently, I just don't. I've been gaming since the Atari 2600, and I've never been into having music while I game. But also, I either like the soundtrack or I need to be able to hear enemies coming up my caboose, particularly in Destiny. There's a lot of times that I have big hive knights that decide to just one shot me with their shield, or in Crucible, plenty of Guardians decide to blow my face off with a shotgun. So, yep, I'm not doing it. So.
He just created another segment, The Many Faces of BC. As soon as you said caboose, his face twisted up.
TARDIS, who's last?
Last but certainly not least, my father.
My father.
My father.
TARDIS, I am
You
your
killed
father.
my father, prepare to die.
Oh,
Reference.
good movie.
Nice one. Princess Bride for the win.
I mean, go you, sir. We raised him right.
Yes, but not all the time. It really depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes it helps me focus a little bit more, which is interesting because, much like you said, VA, hearing somebody, especially in Crucible, hearing somebody around the corner or hearing them pop a super,
Or hearing where a gunshot
comes
went
from.
off yet.
Yeah, it's, oh crap.
Sniper shot just almost took my head off.
Yeah, but sometimes having that little, almost having that little background noise is like white noise for me.
Okay.
And so it kind of helps me focus a little on the other sounds. And then there are other times where I don't want to hear anything else, and I turn the music up loud. My funniest tradition about that, though, is I have like a couple hundred songs on a thumb drive in my PlayStation. That's where I listen to it. I don't subscribe to Spotify. Why? I got my own. But well, I got Amazon and Google, which has.
Plus, then you
YouTube
don't
and
have to deal with
everything.
ads.
Yeah.
Well, if you pay for Spotify, then you don't really have to deal with ads.
But who wants to
And
pay
we
for it?
digress. Continue. I'm pulling my shady out.
Channeling your inner shady.
That's how we became the Shady Bunch, right?
The
Everybody's got to do it once, right? But I usually start with the same song, which is a song
have
from a
the
different
same
video
song.
game. I start out with the same song almost every single time.
What's the song?
It is
Symphony by
Unfinished-
Hybrid.
Is it Finished Symphony?
Finished
or It's
Symphony by
Finished Symphony by Hybrid, which came. I heard that.
SSX Tricky. It is a snowboarding game on PS2.
I do know that game.
Yeah, Finished Symphony. That's the song that I start out with pretty much every time I start gaming.
Oh, that's a cute little tradition.
TARDIS, want to wrap it up? What's your segment?
He started.
Yeah, I started.
Oh, like wrap up the segment. My
Oh.
bad.
And with this, we shall conclude RNG.
The inaugural RNG
Whoop whoop.
segment.
I
Oh,
kinda
you
like
Tortoise.
this.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It gets outside of the box. It's not like what's your favorite gun in Destiny. It's,
Hey,
it applies to a bunch of different things.
it's more approachable that way.
Okay, moving on. It's time for Shady Questions.
Woo!
We need some dancing girls or something. Okay, the first
All right,
question.
but I'm gonna get paid for this segment if
I
I
think there might
start
still be a
next.
couple other people in the house that we could, maybe.
Somebody cash at me right now. We can get this done. Let's get them dancing right now.
Well, drop it in that. Drop it in the.
Oh my
wordplay.
god.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay, Shady Questions. The first question is always about
Pizza!
gaming.
Oh.
We changed
That's
we
right.
changed
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Revamped. It's no longer
For
pizza.
Guardians of the Gas 2.0, I went from pizza to, because I was really running
Does
out
that
of
mean the
pizza.
last one was about soft?
That's one of those it's a shady question.
Oh, that's true.
That's my favorite question.
That's
ma'am?
what's going to take us a while.
Ma'am,
Yeah, okay.
All right. what's
save
the
it for
first
Guardians
one,
After
sir?
Dark.
First
Hold
one's
on,
about
let's do
about
that.
gaming or games in general. This is a statement that's true. The best-selling game of all time is Minecraft.
Oh yeah, we learned that on one of your other.
Yeah. What's number 2? Now, this franchise has more than one title, so you don't have to have the number. What's
I'm
number
going to
2?
go with COD, Call of Duty.
That's one guess.
More than one title.
More than one title. It's the second best-selling game ever.
Oh,
Game. It's just, that's a series. It's just that one game is second to Minecraft.
Is
Oh,
it the
so
same media?
You don't
It's a
get
video,
hints.
It's a video game.
It's a video game.
Well,
It could
Look
be an
at
arcade
you.
you could say like chess or Monopoly or
but
something.
you said it's
Still
not,
a
a
game.
it's not a franchise.
Dark
right?
has a really
A
good.
Destiny's a franchise. It has
Dork
2
says
titles.
Mario. Hey, that was mine,
Borderlands is a
sir.
franchise. They have 5
Okay, then
titles.
I'll stay with Call of Duty.
Dark says Mario.
You stole my answer.
You can,
Well,
say,
you
you can
both
still
say
say
it.
Mario. You both,
Yeah.
you both could be right.
I'm gonna go. I like that idea, but I think Breath of the Wild has kicked it up. So I'm gonna go Zelda.
That was going to be my other thought.
What about you, Tortoise?
I like how she steps up in the house for me.
Oh, sorry.
Well, there isn't anybody else because we have all answered.
And this is why we don't leave her on the podcast. She's gonna take Shady's job.
Yes, that's what I'm afraid. Okay,
Love you.
ALS says GTA
Ooh, GTA.
with a question mark.
That is a game.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
so that's she's not sure.
That's Grand Theft Auto, right?
Correct.
I know,
Well,
be
I was
impressed.
gonna say, wow.
In the
For
words
non-game
of
Golf clap, golf
Tortoise,
clap.
Tortoise, what's your answer?
Tortoise?
Tortoise?
Is it because I'm slow?
No,
I mean, you slow to
it's-
answer this question. What is the answer?
Move it along. Move it along. Come on.
It's harder.
In 3.
I would have to say at one point. Please stop. You just got me sliding shotgun. At one point, I know Fortnite was the number 1, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
One person has got it right.
Well, we all
Call
said
of
something
Duty.
different.
Call
Two
of Duty.
people said
It's Call of Duty.
No.
No?
no.
Oh, wait, no,
ALS
you-
got it right. It's GTA
Ooh!
5.
Oh,
GTA 5
5?
is the second best-selling video game ever.
You go, girl.
Wow.
Way to go.
Congratulations.
You go, girl.
Way to
ALS.
go, ALS. You get the prize.
Who is ALS?
That's the other house
It's your
guest.
daddy's friend. His special friend.
She was at
Oh.
dinner tonight,
I think-
sitting next to you.
Yes, indeed.
I
Especially since
didn't
ALS, I
know.
don't think is an Uber gamer, right? I think she's kind of like Mal. She kind of knows about osmosis.
Osmosis.
Joysticks.
Oh, shit.
And then Raj is like, I'm a Rockstar fan, and I didn't guess it, so.
Oh.
Speaking of Rockstar, one of my favorite Rockstar games, I always used to play it on PS3 when I was young, was Midnight Club. It was a car racing game.
I remember that
it.
game. I remember that. I remember you playing it anyway.
And speaking of chat, we have 2 other people watching this live. Hop in chat, guys. Let's go. Be part of the show. And I want everyone to know in chat we have the 3rd degree coming up at the end of this. You can ask us any question you want, and we have to answer it. So get on that.
Please put it in all caps so that it catches our attention that is a question for us.
Okay, next shady question. What was the first fast food chain ever
Oh, Lord.
in America?
White
Okay.
Castles.
Mouth?
Oh, Mickey D's?
TARDIS?
I'm going to go with the BK Lounge, aka Burger King.
VA?
I'm going with
What do you got, Dark? Come on.
A&W.
Ooh.
I don't remember
the
what
soda
that.
shops?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
exactly what that
okay.
chain was called, but
I think it was
That's-
called A&W.
it might- I think it's
ALS,
okay.
you get one guess. You can't just name every one of them. Just say it.
and Big Boys is.
She's like, one
not
of them will
very-
be
well, I
right.
guess maybe
One
your
of them
Big
will be
Boys is
right.
a fast food chain. It wasn't. It was a sit down.
Alright, Dark,
Okay, sorry,
KFC.
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 All right, and what is yours, Shady?
I
I
know
mean, he knows the
KFC.
answer.
So what did you think it was?
I I didn't. I thought it was McDonald's. Actually.
Okay. And the answer is?
Actually,
Hee hee.
I hate to say this, but BC got it right. For bonus points, what year did it open?
Oh, I know that. Oh, I think.
Go,
What,
because
what
I
did you
don't.
guess?
I think it's 1901.
Nope.
What did
Oh.
you guess?
Give me a guess.
He
I
guessed
know they
castles.
were. I know they were just doing a special burger, but it was before that because
It was
came.
19.
That was the 1921.
Yeah.
That was a 100-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, so last year
So,
was their 100 year?
it-
Go
Yeah.
on.
You answer your own.
I totally knew that.
Yes, 1921.
1921.
Wow.
Yeah, because their burger, I tried it. It's not good.
I learned that from my.
It's like thicker, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like
And
thicker.
with
It's like
the
real,
lettuce,
like
yeah.
it has like lettuce and tomato and stuff on it.
27's mom's lucky number.
And for the record, we have White Castle burgers in the refrigerator in the next room.
Oh, don't tempt me. It's always a bad idea.
I kind
But
of.
it's good when you're
That's
drinking.
interesting that
It's
they.
so good when you're
It's
I,
so good when
I
you're
agree.
drinking.
ALS. I thought they were a little nasty, but I can say that I've had
Oh, that
it
little
and I
burger.
remember.
No,
yeah.
not the regular. She likes the regular burgers.
She's
So,
talking about the
the
1921.
anniversary
Mhm.
version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and for anyone out there, Crystals is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Just for the
Crystals is not White Castle.
So all you people that are saying Crystals is the same thing, no, it's not. Okay, it's not. I have anger about this issue.
Okay, this next one is a rapid fire. I don't want
Okay.
no behind the
Ooh.
scenes reason I was growing up. Just bam. I want the answer.
Okay.
Favorite go-to drink, non-alcoholic. Mouth.
Iced tea.
BC.
Tea.
BA.
Southern sweet iced tea.
Artist.
Either sweet tea or like Tahitian tea.
Mine's diet free caffeine green pepper. Caffeine.
Okay.
And there's way too many
Fair.
I got so used to it that.
Hold on, wait. Didn't you tell us you didn't want the explanation? Why do you give us? It was. I want it really quick. Boom. Boom.
He's the host
No
of the
stories.
segment. He can do what he
Boom.
wants.
Hey, it's his segment.
I wanted it really quick from you guys.
You know what?
That's how it is.
That's totally fair.
It is.
It's totally fair. We're the long-winded ones.
I will do it really quick for me too. But obviously, what's the opposite for your alcohol?
TARDIS is underage.
But do you have one that's like you like the sound of it?
Or when you're looking forward to
KCT?
trying.
He says he's never drinking. Like that's his
Caribou.
plan. He doesn't never want
I
to
feel
drink.
the same way. Interesting.
Stay that way, my love.
ABA?
Favorite alcoholic is going to be a vodka Commons.
BC?
Depends on the day. Right now, I'm doing coffee tequila. That seems to be the thing.
Well,
I would say
and then
a.
the mouse house, he has a lot of choices.
She does. I would say my favorite would be a well-made bourbon old-fashioned.
Mine's vodka and anything.
Okay.
And this is a follow-up.
And see here. Oh, we have.
we got-
And we have iced tea from ALS, and Raj liked plain old water. And then Crown Boil for ALS's favorite alcoholic drink. And
Old-fashioned for
Raj,
sure.
Old-fashioned.
Made properly. He likes mine the best.
Nice.
Well, if you want to stay married, that's probably a good answer.
Yeah, it usually is. Yeah.
This next one is based on tonight. Everybody, we all got together, 7 of us, and went out to dinner. BC, where we go?
Cheesecake Factory.
And we did. And we had a conversation there about salad. So what is your go-to salad? You were at a salad bar, it has 1 million different types of toppings. What kind of salad are you going to make? TARDIS? Let's limit 5 toppings. You can pick any 5 toppings.
Okay, good.
I'm making a Caesar salad because that was like really the only salad I liked for the meantime. I really liked Wendy's chicken apple something
The
salad.
harvest chicken salad.
Yeah.
The harvest
That's
chicken
one of my
salad.
favorites too.
And then there's a new dressing that I just tried not too long ago that I liked. But I was very picky about dressings and salads.
Okay.
Come on, Chad, what's your go-to salad?
Caesar or anything Southwest from ALS.
Ralph, what do you got?
I just had a new salad recently from this little Argentinian place downtown, and it's spring greens, dried blueberries, goat cheese, and slivered almonds, and it is so good. And it has like a white balsamic, a creamy white balsamic dressing. It's so
Oh
good.
wow! I wish I could get one like that.
It's
That tastes
delicious.
so tasty.
But I do love salads.
It would be a salad with spring mix, carrots, feta, and cheddar cheese or American, whatever the hell shredded option was offered. With garbanzo beans and croutons. Bacon bits. Gotta have my bacon. With a vinaigrette, pretty much any kind of vinaigrette is the best. And
It's dark. He said his favorite is Outback's house salad. And he said Tortoise doesn't eat salad with dressing. He eats dressing with salad. And that is totally true. It's swimming.
I know a lot of people that are like that, yeah.
Like, can you even taste the vegetables?
So
No, that's the
No,
point.
it just
I'm
slides
playing.
down the gullet, so.
go to Olive Garden and get theirs,
Yeah.
man. They put the
got mine,
dressing
I got my
on there
dressing, so.
for you, and it's always just so much at the bottom of it. It's my
it's you.
turn. I like the idea of kind of a spring mix. I'm not a big fan of arugula, but some spinach and lettuce in there is good. Depends on the dressing that I'm doing. But usually kind of an Italian dressing, zesty Italian with some cheese,
I just knew he was gonna say that.
croutons,
Wrong.
and maybe some olives or something, depending.
I just
The
knew
other
what
toppings.
you were
Really
going to say, and I was
simple.
wrong.
So a
I
real simple
totally
salad.
knew. and I
What
was
did you
wrong.
know what I was gonna say?
I just knew you were going to say that salmon one. You know, the spring greens,
That was
the
what I made
tomatoes,
for you,
the
though.
green olives.
That-
And I made that for you.
No,
And the sun-dried tomato, that was my salad.
yes, that was your salad because you didn't eat anything. You didn't eat meat at that time. That you were a pescatarian, so that was your
That's true.
salad.
And this episode of Newlyweds will be back after these messages.
Dude,
Although
dude,
that,
dude.
that salad is
My
really
go-to
fucking good,
is
though.
black olives, American cheese, croutons, sesame seeds, and as much French dressing as I can fit in the bowl. Pound it. Yeah.
But what kind of lettuce though? Are you doing good old iceberg? You
Iceberg,
doing
yeah,
romaine?
iceberg.
Okay.
That's something. I mean,
That's just water.
I think
Freshly
iceberg
watered.
gets a bad rap though, because I mean, for crunch factor, there isn't one that's more like, especially on a hot day, it's like super cold and crisp and crunchy, and it's a very
is good
delightful
for
Aren't you in
mouthfeel.
between matches?
No, technically, yes, sir.
Put the controller down and go to the next room.
Oh
Dun,
God.
dun, dun.
Save it for
that one in the corner.
Save it for Guardians After Dark.
No, we're
Hey.
not doing that. I got two extra shady questions, and your parents are behind you. And I want them to be able to answer the question honestly.
Oh shit.
Oh, I think they'll answer honestly if he's there, but
Oh, they will. It's
This-
just very uncomfortable.
yeah, I was gonna say,
It's
yeah.
uncomfortable for
You're
me.
not gonna like it.
BA, take the controller. Or Dad, take the controller.
You don't have, you can play or not. It's up to you.
Okay.
Oh, my legs are like so much cooler now.
And don't go watch it on the other TV either.
Where am I supposed to go?
Go outside.
Go play in traffic, honey.
My mom used to say, "Air the stink off your ass." Okay, extra shady question time on the 40th episode, a live version of it. We are all in the same room. Damn. Okay, first extra shady question. The second one we've done before.
First.
But this is the first one. What do you consider amazing sex? Let's think in for a minute. I'll go first. I've known this question for a couple of days. I consider amazing sex. You guys already have a way too high opinion of me anyway. I'm not schmoozing. I don't want a girlfriend. I'm never getting married again. But this is just how I am. As long as the woman's satisfied, it works. It's amazing.
Good for you, sir.
If she has less than 3 orgasms, I fail. If I get one, that's a bonus.
Please pay attention, gentlemen.
It's all about the
Pretty
woman.
much.
Yeah, it's all about the woman. And in my opinion, sex takes 2.5 hours. And it starts with, how was your day? That's the first hour. Glass of wine, tell me about it. Really, Susan said that about you? Jennifer wore that again? Really? Blah, 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 blah. And then you slowly work towards the bedroom. A good 45 minutes of foreplay and 45 minutes of sex. Yeah.
I need one of them
Get in the
shoulder
mood.
rubs that turns into 6.
Your shoulder rub looks real creepy.
I have a Spotify playlist for that, too.
Yeah, how does that feel?
Okay, BC, we'll go men first.
Kinky.
Any examples? PG-13.
Share.
So I like what you said, and that generally comes with it. I'm into some kinky stuff, so I find that to be fun because I get to torture you with it. Fill in the blanks. So.
Many options.
Bag's good.
So.
Bag keeps the FCC off our ass.
So fill in the blanks. That first idea
Yeah,
is
I
you know
noticed.
that you were saying about the women. Yeah, but I'm going to enjoy my.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy getting. I don't not enjoy getting. I like being tied up. So I can't do anything. Everything's done to me. That's okay too, but not as a general rule.
I'm the other.
That's
I'm
on
the
March
other.
14th.
I'm the other end of that
that's
spectrum,
that's my
sir.
birthday, so I mean,
Well, happy birthday
I'm-
to you.
I'm
It is a
the
happy
other
birthday.
end of that
Oh, March
spectrum,
14th,
sir.
that's Pi Day.
it is. How about you, Mouse?
So,
With your husband listening,
yes, but no, I'm just kidding. He knows. I think, and I'm gonna go a little like corny Swift. Oh, that's kind of what I was gonna say. So I'm gonna go a little corny soft at first too. I feel like that is the closest two people can
You have to
physically
read it,
be.
people-
Oh, sorry. ALS said there has to be a strong connection, no flings, and I have to have some motions attached to new stuff is usually welcome. No pee though.
spell that for everybody that's listening that's not watching.
No pee thou.
It's spelled P-E-E, not just. Alright, continue on.
Oh god, R. Kelly springs to mind. So
Spring.
for me, I mean, it's kind of the same way. Like it's the closest that two people can physically get. If I was being funny and I answered, I'd just say a lot of it because I'm a bit of an info with an insatiable appetite. But for me, the ideal situation, both people get it and at the same exact time. That's my absolute favorite. So like if we both bust at the same time, that's a win. Any sex with my wife is this is talk. Any sex with my wife is the best, but date night sex and lazy weekend morning sex is my favorite. He's obsessed with morning sex. I prefer it at night. So we're a little mismatched. But I also would like it 3 times a day, so we could both be happy.
Messy is good too.
Oh god. Yeah.
ALS is all about your sweetness there.
And going back to chat, we have 4 people in chat. Come on.
We have 6 watching.
Be careful, but you can answer the question.
I'm coming back because I can hear y'all anyway. There's no.
Alright.
You could have brought a beer. Sit down, no.
Yeah, actually, Guinness.
Red Stripe.
I'll take
And
the
could
bottle.
you please bring my can that's on the table there?
Can I
I
get some
forgot to
cocaine,
bring it.
Amber Heard.
Coca-Cola. Fun fact.
Objection.
cocaine used to be
Here's
made
a-
with Coca-
Yes,
Coca-
Coca-Cola used to be. Yep, Coca-Cola used to be.
And it was
And it was
originally a
medicine.
medicine.
Yeah, okay,
No.
medicine.
Yep.
Yep. Does that mean I'm the only one left?
Objection.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
Hearsay.
first to comment on ALS. When I was first getting into porn, boy was I shocked. Water sports had nothing to do with the pool.
Oh my god, I could tell you a story, but that's not PG, so let's save that
Let's
for
say
later.
that. Okay, VA. I say VA for last for a reason.
Oh.
Okay, so it would be where we both managed to get our rocks off, but for me it's got to be a few times. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not calling them up again.
So she likes the multis.
Starbucks
yes.
and Red Stripe.
Yeah, similar to BC, I'm into some stuff, and yeah, I like to have me a good time.
Well, go you, girl.
Hey,
As many times as you want.
Well, and there are advantages to no longer being able to have children. So, yeah, it's great having the playground open 365. And we'll go
there's
there.
so much more to that answer, but we can't ask any questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not a.
That's the
Yeah.
best you're getting, sir.
Probably yeah, that's probably the best you're getting right now.
PG-13.
Exactly, PG-13, and only so much time because we've had this discussion before offline, and it can go much longer. Alrighty.
So can I.
What?
We are an hour in.
That's what they said. He's and she said it. That we could go much longer.
Yeah.
Pick which one. We good.
Hey, there are advantages to poly. I mean, if one gets tired of,
Here, let me leave this here. I'm gonna go play the video game for a
tag
while.
team, sequential, just drive across town. I mean, there's different ways that can go.
Go you.
Okay, second extra shady question.
Hearsay.
Second, we've had this one before,
Okay.
but
Oh, ALS says wet sheets stop everything.
Ooh, and there's some products, girl. I'll tell you all about it.
that's for another time.
That's a lot of
Yep.
tells.
Yeah,
Another
that's
time.
definitely after dark.
It's a little early for that. So we're now ready to we're doing this time.
It's called me.
We've had this question before. I'm just curious. I don't remember anybody's answer. I know what my answer was then. I know my answer now. But what is something non-sexual that turns you on? I'll go first while you guys think. Because I wrote these out. My ex-wife never cleaned the house. I did 95% of the housework after working all day while she was sitting at home on the computer talking to her friends. So I would come home and see her big mess and feel it. I hate it. So now if I see any woman that's slightly attractive cleaning, puts the,
Al Bundy.
puts the up and on high, I tell you that much.
The episode of Married with Children when Peggy is cleaning and he's watching her clean and she can't stop. He grabs her and takes her upstairs. Like Al
A
Bundy.
woman cleaning. I mean, even doing dishes, sweeping, vacuuming, laundry.
So when I cleaned up the table,
I was
at the
about to say,
Cheesecake
hold
Factory
on.
today,
You've been around these women that have been cleaning this weekend. Hold on, wait, sir.
he kept it to himself. He's a gentleman.
My thoughts are my own.
Thank you, my love.
The waiter's here.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I gotta get your camera down.
Okay, not a problem. Only had so many hands. Gotcha.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You gotta come back. We got this or that coming up. Well, anything non-sexual?
So speaking of Cheesecake Factory, my husband, he's a very quiet man. And when we first met, he considered football to be like soccer, like whatever. But real football, like American football, I introduced him
Most of the
to.
world says that the
I
other
was
way.
gonna say,
around.
And
yeah.
most of the world would be wrong. But when when I first met him, he had no concept of football at all. It was actually a kind of a joke on our first date. And now that man can talk football and Green Bay Packers better than I can. He is completely dialed in, and whenever he says like, I don't know, anything really intelligent about football, my gears start going.
Once,
BC?
hence the Cheesecake Factory. Oh, nice one. So Dark and I were having a conversation. Well, actually, Shady Dark and I were having a conversation about football. And Dark, I named a couple of specific games, and Dark started talking about the coaches. And
Well, you would actually you were talking about specific scenarios that had happened in a game, and he was able to correctly identify the teams in the game just off the short description that you had given, and it's so freaking hot.
So ALS
there you
says,
go, Dark.
Get your chairs right in, being bossed around by my money. So when you go, bitch, get in that room now. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and he loves that. That never worked out
Sometimes
over here.
take charge. BA, you want to go? Something non-sexual that turns you on.
Also air conditioning.
I'm not sure.
You know I don't like
Digging
it.
Not
into
really.
it.
No, I'm Demi, so that doesn't do much for me. Having a intelligent conversation, particularly sci-fi, geeky related stuff.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Crap again. Don't go talk to Dark.
yeah, I mean, there's more to it. There's also a physical component, but that's, like, oh, you're really handsome, and you have nothing I'm interested in between your ears. So,
Oh yeah, that's
again, because I'm Demi, might be somewhat interested in your pants, but yeah, I'm more interested in the head upstairs, I would say.
Okay. Is anybody not gone? Besides Carter?
BC.
PC? How you?
It's so non-sexual. I like, yeah, you gotta have something that I can talk to, yeah. But also, like, physically, there's stuff too, of the way a woman carries herself. Confidence without arrogance, a little bit of outward sexy, but some innocence to it, like, that kind of stuff I think is just hot in general.
So I just discovered something. I just want to make an observation that everyone on this couch is attracted to my husband.
I said a woman.
No argument.
Because he's brilliant and kind of geeky. He cleans so well. And he's very confident without arrogance.
There's different levels of attraction. I find him as a really nice person and a great man. I like to be his friend, but I don't want to have sex with him.
That's all right. I'll handle that part for you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm a giver.
You can outsource it.
I'm a giver.
And then ALS says she's also, she gets it, she's kind of Demi, and Rush says dresses.
Wears
and
dresses.
acts like a boss.
And there you
I'm
go.
gonna say, well,
See.
he cleans different.
Raj, no. That's an inside joke between me and him. We were listening to Kendrick Lamar's new album, and the first song is called "United in Grief." For the first time he heard it, the first time he heard it, he thought it said "I clean different" and not "I
Okay,
grieve different."
No, there was 3.
Yeah, you were probably second.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
was funny when it happened.
it's quite interesting based on what your husband says right there,
I mean,
and what your based on what your current husband said, what your ex-husband said, and what you said. There seems to be a piece of the puzzle that's going. Oh, that kind of makes sense.
You have to explain. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he's saying.
And what did I say
Okay.
about that question?
Uh-huh.
And what did you say after I said what I said?
Oh, yeah?
That didn't work here.
I mean,
So
okay,
are
and
you
back to the
finding
podcast. Private conversations can be done afterward, off the air.
I like being corrected,
Welcome
too.
whoever
Come on in here,
has-
ALS.
Welcome whoever has joined or rejoined the broadcast to our 6 viewers.
Woohoo!
6 live viewers.
Woohoo!
Okay, next segment.
Who else is with us? Say something.
I expected Weld to show up, and he would have said something by now.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
And the next segment is called Dis or Dat with D's.
Uh-oh.
Nuts.
I'm going to read off 7 items. There was
There's a
right
mic
or
right
wrong
there.
answer to all of these.
Oh. 7 questions?
Next week, we're going to have 3 new hosts. Okay, this or that. I'm going to read off 7 statements, and you have to categorize it. Is it either a event
Okay.
on the Kid Rock cruise that he does every year,
JR.
or a poem by Shel Silverstein or Silverstein?
And Kid
Ooh.
Rock, so that I have my rocks correct. That's the kind of metal-ish artist. Okay, good. All right.
He's like country rock.
well, he's more of a
Now he is.
rock rapper.
Hi, JR. JR is one of our fellow DoD Rocket Sauce members and a fellow admin. So
And a former guest on the
Yes.
podcast.
Multiple
Hey, Jay,
times.
Can
Well-
you see us?
We
I don't
need to
know if
drink
there's enough
more.
light.
The light goes in and out. But yes, I'm working on it.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
you have to
I forgot
understand.
bring my drink.
I'm not
Social-
pale.
Oh.
I'm gonna blend in shortly. I'm just
To
saying.
remind Chad, up next is the third degree, which Chad gets to ask any of us a question and we have to answer it. You ask one of us or all of us, and whatever you want to do, we're in charge until the last second.
Yep.
Put them in a what cap?
Okay, is it a Kid Rock cruise event? The key is event. Or is it a poem by Shel Silverstein?
Pretty is good on my Shel Silverstein.
Okay, first one, Tug of War.
Shel Silverstein poem.
Silverstein.
Tortoise?
I'm tired of that.
Tortoise, give me an answer.
Tug of war.
That's
Yes.
the question.
Shel Silverstein poem or Kid Rock
Oh.
event?
Poem.
Poem, he says.
You see,
Rock.
it is a poem. Speedo contest.
Rock.
That's gotta be
Rock.
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 Redneck prom.
Rock.
Rock.
Smoke off.
Rock.
Silverstein.
I don't know that
Smoke
one.
off. Wow. All right.
I don't know that one.
Crowded tub.
Silverstein.
Silverstein.
Beers and bingo.
Rock.
Rock.
Trying on clothes.
Silverstein.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Way too good.
I'm really good at Silverstein poetry. I had all the books.
And to my credit, I only double checked Silverstein to make sure I was thinking of the correct author, i.e. the giving tree
Yeah.
and where the sidewalk ends. Other than that,
And a light
I,
in the attic.
I think that was one that was it you? Who was the author?
Yeah, it was
I
me.
don't remember. Yeah. So,
It was
but
me.
that was it. I didn't look at his whole bibliography. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
which damn Silverstein it was.
Now,
It's been a while.
Dark, what are you saying no to, sir?
Chad, we're at third degree. So we need to find another one.
Maybe Kid Rock being disgusting.
I think he would agree with that 100%.
We've gone to a couple of Kid Rock concerts because one of my best friends went and they got in a fight at the first one and now she can't go by herself without me. It's a general rule just in case.
After having met some of your friends last night, I totally believe that.
The one
It was
that was
Angela.
there. Was,
I was about to say, she was there.
Yeah, Raj is saying no light, so
Oh, no, he can't see it. Yeah. Also, while we're waiting for the third degree question, just a little fun fact. I have been a Shel Silverstein like nut since I was a kid. And then advancements in technology. If you have like one of those Alexa devices or whatever, if you tell her to like read the poem or whatever, like but it's Shel Silverstein's voice.
oh, that's cool.
do you have to
It
pay
is not cool
Do you have
because
to pay for his voice?
no, it's free, but I mean he
Oh.
reads his own poem. It's just like playing an audio track. You can get him on YouTube too. But the problem is that because I'm the type of person who has already created everything in my head about who this guy is, his real voice was throttling and unfamiliar, and it ruined my childhood. Facts.
You know that, but I get what you're saying. Like, what was
Uh-oh.
it? The Medium show.
Oh hell.
Oh.
We've got a third degree question.
Oh, and he put oil and everything. Look at you, all proficient.
I think it might help with at least being able to view things.
Or the dark man?
Can you get to it? Okay. So, all right. So my worst. Okay, what is my worst addiction?
Yeah, we're gonna move on to that.
Reading. I'm a bibliophile, like seriously bibliophile, and I kind of cried when I had to make my library a lot smaller for this move last year when I was living with my boyfriend. There's a lot of books that went down to my local secondhand store that were near and dear.
My
But
condolences.
it's also something I did for my dad. My dad introduced me to Asimov, The Turn, and Dune.
Dark, is that better? Can you
So,
see us a little bit?
yeah, please let us know if you can see better now. So yeah, I would say my worst addiction is probably my addiction to reading in general and sci-fi specifically, or erotica. Toss up at this point.
Who wants to go next?
So I'll go. I have a lot of addictions. Actually, that's not fair. I don't have a very addictive personality, so it's really hard for me to get like addicted to anything. But if I center in on the word worst, I would say that would be the thing that, it's better. This lighting's better. When I say like worst addiction, to me, that would be the one that has the greatest impact on other people. Because it has that name. Because I'm a drinker and I'm a shopper. But it's probably, please. It's probably sex.
I can still hear you.
Oh, sorry then.
And somehow I doubt that's very surprising to him.
Yeah,
Or
no,
it's really
it's
not.
poor.
It's probably because my poor husband. Like, I'm after him all of the time. So it's the most impactful to other people.
Hey, come here. Come here, give me that.
I mean, it's not that bad, but it's close.
Wow.
For JR's sake, we have Mouth on the end of the couch. We got BC right here. This is VA.
Hi.
And of course, you know me, I'm Shady. We got TARDIS on the floor. In my place, playing on my account, giving me kills.
You're welcome.
All right,
Be
so
jealous.
the next one I guess would be you. Easy.
My worst addiction. I think it's twofold. I drink, but I've actually gotten a lot better with drinking, so I don't think that's it anymore.
So you don't throw up? Okay, nice.
Rude.
I never really did that.
I know, I was just being funny. Not really.
Honestly though, I'd probably say
Oh, I know what it is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'd say maybe the people sometimes people that I deal with. Interestingly enough, yeah. Can't say everybody.
Gotcha.
Oh, unhealthy connections to other humans. Okay.
Me,
Taurus?
I'm not really addicted to anything. Yes, I have a lot of bad habits and I do a lot of bad things, but I couldn't say I'm addicted to anything.
I got a list.
Although I'm quite interested. What did you
That's-
think mine was gonna be?
Smoking. Ugh, I hate it.
Also, I'm not addicted to anything. Yes, I do a lot of things. Yes, I like being on screens a lot. Yes, I do sneak so I can do those things. But none of that is being I know my flaws. I accept them.
I mean, you are describing addiction, sir.
That's not necessarily addicted. I can stop. I just don't
Can
like.
you really?
Yes.
Well, so let me just
So we're gonna remember this. The
let me
next
drop
time
a
we
little
get
bug in
time.
here. So if you are to the point that you enjoy doing something so much that even after you've been told not to do it, and when it's negatively impacting other aspects of your life, you still continue to do it, you're willing to lie, cheat, or steal to get the thing that you want, then it becomes then that's kind of classified as an
Unhealthy
addiction.
yeah, it's an
And then
unhealthy
not
addiction.
only is it an addiction, but it's an unhealthy.
That's an unhealthy.
The
addiction.
first step is admitting you have a problem.
This is now going to become
The intervention.
intervention for TARDISes.
And he's young. You can catch him early before he's too set in his ways. All right, then I guess that leaves you, Mr. Shady.
Okay, I've got a lot of problems. Yes, I drink way too much. I watch too much porn. But
Is there such a thing as that?
There isn't of the first one, I know.
Destiny, 10,500 hours in the franchise
Yeah.
in 8 years.
That's an
And
addiction.
Destiny 2, 3.4 million kills. Imagine what I could do for the world in all that time that I'm playing Destiny. I could have learned how to play the piano.
Which
could
I
have learned
can
how to crochet. I could have gone to Africa and helped children. But I didn't. I sat in my gaming chair and played Destiny
And drank.
10 hours a day for 8 years.
Well,
Do you ever get the Destiny shakes if it's been too long? Trigger finger starts to go.
I just remember something I was supposed to talk about earlier in the intro. All proceeds of this podcast go to St. Jude's Hospital for Children.
yes.
St. Jude's Public Relations Department called me to thank me for my efforts.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
wonderful.
And we have what? Was it 34 minutes that we have to
It's
do?
like $2,200. I didn't do the math.
Okay.
It's $30 a second. So, but in the there's a tagline that you can
Math
say
dot-
this
math
goes
dot.
to Ginger or whatever. People have been putting in programs for guest podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's what I did on mine.
Well, thank you anyone who happens to be on the stream that has donated. We greatly thank you.
Cheers to
And
you.
we're getting noticed.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Hoorah.
And for anyone who doesn't know what St. Jude's is, it is a hospital that tends to children with cancer, and it allows their parents and family to stay near them while they are getting treatment. And there's never a bill to the family, so that they can focus on supporting their child through, what's very scary and can be, life-threatening. So it's a good cause. And I think we started it because I think Bungie did that stream a couple years ago, and I donated, and I got a goodie out of it.
Bungie just probably did
And
a
then-
lot of 24-hour stream, and they make between $3 and $4 million in 24 hours.
Wow.
Having popular streamers just do their stream from their studios.
Yeah. So we just decided that, that
We
was
can
a
do
cause
that
we
too.
could get behind because, we're all parents here. And the prior hosts who aren't on the podcast anymore, we're parents, whether our kids are grown or not. So it's,
And not
nobody
only,
wants to deal with that.
not only do they bring the families in free of charge and put them up, there's food paid for and everything, but St. Jude's has a state-of-the-art, world-famous research center.
Yep.
50 years ago, if your child had cancer, they had a 20% chance to live. Thanks to St. Jude's, they now have an 80%.
Yep.
And they're not going to stop
And that
until
is
it's
their
100.
goal. Exactly. And it was started by a couple of celebrities. I believe it's Marlo Thomas and her husband, whose name escapes me at this moment.
Chat, last time,
So they
last
are
chance
still
for
very in.
third degree. We're going to hit the outro in a second. here.
And welcome to whoever else is also watching. We're up to
You're welcome to our
7.
podcast. We are all in the same room. We've never met before.
At least not till 2 days ago.
Well, most of us haven't met before. Some of us are family.
I was going to say,
We
three
are.
of y'all met before because, that was a requisite for one of
We've
you.
been planning this for 5 years. We finally got together, and a couple of us got on planes and traveled great distances to be here.
Yeah, so the VA and my handle, VA Witch, is literal. I'm born and raised in Virginia, so.
And I came from upstate New York, and we're all meeting in Cincinnati at BC's place to have a great weekend and be happy one.
Yes.
I'm so glad you guys included me. It was so much fun being a
Oh,
part
we
of it.
could not after your, appearance on the podcast. It was memorable, and there's been a couple of people have mentioned that. They're like, "Who's that mouth person who's on the podcast?"
I do have to make a correction.
Oh.
One time in the third degree, a question was asked that I ducked. I muted my mic and pretended to say stuff, and I'm like, and then that's who my favorite guest is. My favorite guest easily is Mouth. Easily.
Aw, thanks.
TARDIS, I apologize. You've been a guest on more than one occasion, but be more like your mom.
I think he tries to
And
avoid
you
that.
Make it
I
second.
avoid that. No, I don't. No, I'm good.
He's like, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll stay me.
You bring your own aura.
Yeah. And you're a great kid.
And he has the distinction of being the first guest on the podcast not this past month, but the year before. I think it was like March 8th, I think it was our first podcast. And TARDIS was the first guest.
I was
Well, I have a few more.
Get started.
VA and myself, that was the first podcast.
I have a few more years of
40
experience
podcasts
being
ago.
me. So by the time you're, this age, you're fully developed. Well, not fully developed. We're always growing, but you will be a more developed version of yourself and be way cooler than me.
Growing taller than you.
So I believe
Okay.
that brings us to
We are an hour and a half in. Anybody got anything else they want to get off their chest, talk about,
Did we
inquire
do
about?
the extra shady?
Not yet. I cannot wait.
I did 2 extra shady questions.
We did them, yeah.
We did? Okay.
What's amazing sex and what non-sexual thing turns you on?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got 1 third degree from Zula.
I'm not sure. It's Jack Daniels down.
No
for
other
lunch.
third
It's
degrees,
it's
guys.
only 4.5%
I really feel like you're missing
alcohol.
this
I mean, I've only
opportunity.
had 2 beers, but we have a problem.
I'm tired. I have not had enough sleep because I was out late with your ex-wife, aka Mouth, last night at a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
and I stayed up late because my stupid flight got delayed because your city decided to have a lightning storm on the tarmac. So, yeah.
But it was
Okay.
fun.
I blame fatigue.
Where can we find everyone? TARDIS.
Doing what I'm doing right now. I play a lot on Shady's account. I'm in the Crucible on my account at TARDISFan767. You know, if you ever want to catch these hands, feel free to message me. We do private match. All is welcome.
All it dropped. All across the face. BC.
Now just remember when Zam and Envy say, I thought you said you was gonna give me these hands.
I've gotten better, Envy, and
I'm
Envy
just-
can attest to that. I
Getting
last
That's
better.
like the dream team for Rocket Sauce and PvP is those three.
Who's the
honestly.
third?
Getting better.
You, Envy, and Zam.
Oh, I'm surprised about that. Thank you.
There
The
was a
flattery.
Rumor, there was a rumor of Clan Wars.
There was a talk of Clan Wars, but I don't know if
Can't
it
believe
got
it's able to-
up and moved.
It did actually, it did end up happening. There was, we did end up doing a Rumble match. It was not pretty on my part. But yeah, we did do it on a couple different nights. I think it'll be back next season.
Ooh,
few
nice
weeks
night.
in.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to where can we find everyone? BC.
You
Well,
should've caught those
you can
bullets.
find me on PSN, BC. Actually, I'm not on the screen right now.
You're not. No. Usually, yeah.
Normally, I just say my
Like the
name's on
screen
the screen,
name,
like
yep.
the screen name, and I give the Guardian email address. This is odd.
You have to remember your handle now.
My handle is B-C-Tayman, Taeman. That's on PSN, and you can also find me. Keep an eye on our email, which is 4Gs and a guest. That's 4GSANDGEST at gmail.com.
Destiny will never end. Destiny will live supreme forever.
VA?
Yes.
VA?
Sorry.
ALS did have a question. When Destiny is over, will all of you do another podcast for a different game? If we all are playing the same game, I would imagine yes. But part of the reason I play Destiny is for people like these gentlemen and TARDIS. I've had some really good net friends.
You're not a gentleman.
Oh, we know. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a gentleman in waiting. But no, I've had some rough stuff the last few years for family, and my clanmates in Destiny have been essential to keeping me somewhat sane going through it. So it depends, honestly, if there's another game we share. But as to where you can find me, on PSN, excuse me, on PSN and Twitch, you can find me at VA_witch, and on Twitter and YouTube, VA Witch without the underscore.
And I can answer ALS' question. I can answer the question to the question. What game would make you, us all, stop playing Destiny 2? Now think about it for a second. There's a really obvious answer. What
Destiny
game?
3?
3.
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
game would
yeah.
you say to stop playing
That's the only reason I
1?
stopped Destiny 1, yeah.
If Destiny 2's not going, Destiny 3 is going to be there.
Well, eventually they may stop supporting Destiny.
They may sell it to a different publisher, but Destiny will never go away.
I doubt it. Yeah, it's too
35
popular.
million
It is
people
your
play
destiny to destiny.
Oh, God.
Oh. Okay. I
Nice
applaud the line. But yeah, that'd probably be
Who's
about
my
the only
line?
thing I stopped playing
You
because
got good for me.
I don't
Did
have
it?
enough time to get
Yes.
into too much
You
else.
thought I was being too corny and
And it's
cheesy.
possible for us to do a podcast without playing the same game.
Clearly, because
It
I don't
doesn't
play
have to
it.
be for Guardians of the Gas. It could be just a gamer's.
For gamers and a guest.
Yeah, for gamer. A gamer's
It's
podcast.
a dynasty. Very, very nice there. Dark. Very nice.
Lately, when I've been playing with a lot of people that are playing, and 4 of us playing different games.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Destiny is not it's end of the season, not in a good spot.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can find me on PSN, look up Shady35. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, Shady35. No space between the letters and the numbers. That makes a damn big difference. If some other joker has the same name, you put space between the letters and the numbers. So, as
Porn
a...
channel?
No.
Don't know, because usually when you have a name, a name that's slightly different, it tends to go bad places. Okay.
For my channel's health, I'm up to 71 subscribers.
All right.
Oh.
Which I didn't think I would get more than Tom. I asked my family nicely just to subscribe and never follow me. But yeah, 71 that had started yesterday. I got this number 71. But we are done. The clan has spoken. I'm not sure when the next podcast is going to be, because I'm not sure where I'm going to be. So we'll play that by ear. So now it's time for the outro. Now I have a request. I don't know if we can pull this off. We can't do this if we were all in different locations because of the lag and the timing and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But can BC and Mouth do the outro at the same
We
time?
can do it,
Do
honey.
you remember what it is?
Yes.
You guys do a little bit different, so you need to confer
Let's confer, sir.
a little bit.
Are we like whispering it?
And
Or
I'll tell you what to say.
okay.
Oh, you're gonna tell us what to say.
That's not conferring. That's taking orders, and I'm in for it.
I don't know about
Mel.
that.
I'm gonna need you to know it.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to stay out of my mouth.
Who's getting spanked? Let's go. Slap.
That's after dark.
Yeah.
The
I was talking to
spanking,
BC.
spanking,
That's
Aren't you happy you go home? You have school tomorrow.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy either way. I got to deal with her and Raj.
In what defense, we did kick you out. You did come back and said you could hear us anyway, so it's not really your fault.
No, I'm talking about going home. He says I have to go home with you. I have to deal with you and him, or him and her.
Aren't you lucky?
I know, right?
Go you.
Focus up.
Yeah.
This is the outro.
Okay.
Slap that like button. Like your mama taught you right.
Okay.
And you guys start, you can do 1, 2, 3, you do whatever you want. You guys are married, you should have some kind of connection.
That's why we're not married
I was
anymore.
gonna say
I didn't say it was a good connection.
More like a misconnection.
You're gonna find out there wasn't really lag online. We just couldn't get it right. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna hold off a half a second on purpose.
TARDIS, get ready to terminate the stream.
Oh, termination? We're not doing after dark?
5 seconds after they do the outro, terminate the stream.
Yes, sir.
If you have to go to orbit and miss the match, that's
See, now they get to hear behind the scenes stuff again.
Yep.
Edit this out.
Okay, you ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Slap that like button like your mama taught you right.
could never be more perfect. Get us out of here.
Woo!
TARDIS, get us out of here.
He is.